Hello everybody, I'm PD the Power Dragon here, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different, see how you guys like it. I'm going to cover a replay. Now this is a very old replay, but it is one that I like very much, where it is the forces of Nagarythe, played by yours truly, PD the Power Dragon, versus the forces of Middenland, played by Alan de Generic. Oh yeah, take a look at this. It was a very close game, and I wanted to see how you guys would react. So, starting out with the armies here, the forces of Nagarythe have gone for a pretty wide spear build. We have various warriors, Phoenix Guard, a few more warriors, the Scions of Mathlan. Over on the flanks here, I have 2 units of Illyrian Reavers, very cost-effective cavalry, backed up by some Silverhelm Chargers. All in all, a very good one, and considering that the High Elf Cavalry does have martial prowess for that charge resistance, and charges home when the Silverhelm charges, it can be very handy in a cav fight. To try and control the air and bring a bit of tankiness, I brought Great Eagles, in the end times they're a unit of 4, and they're very, very handy. For a bit more infantry support, I've brought a Tyrannok Chariot. You can take a look at that missile strength. Tyrannok Chariot's a very underrated unit. But now we get into the main point of this build, because it is a skirmish build first and foremost. We have a Handmaiden of the Everqueen here with her bows, and she does have Quicksilver Shot to attempt to buff up my other units. I have a unit of Shadow Warriors straight up in the front line, and the Shadow King himself, Alethanar, already getting some shots in towards Toddy. And of course, Vanguard deployed way in the corner are the Grey. Alan de Generic has set up cavalry all on the opposite side, mixture of Empire Knights, very, very strong cavalry units, and a light wizard. Over here he has some Knights of the White Wolf. They're a unique Middenland cavalry unit. In general, his front line is made up of spearmen and swordsmen. Take a look at that with the cinematics, with a few backup of shielded spearmen, 2 units of handgunners, the White Wolves, and some Reiksguard foot in here, that elite infantry. And Toddy flying up ahead. So, starting out with the beginning here, I am going to notice that I'll need to move my cavalry around towards my left flank here to prepare to defend against those Empire Knights. And the skirmish battle is going to start. I'm going to get the Tyrannok Chariot, and initially I'll open fire into some swordsmen, but it won't do a whole lot because of their missile resistance and such. It's a little bit messy now, and we do have some gunfire and some of the White Wolves crisscrossing fire to the Great Eagle. And I may have neglected, I brought Phoenix Guard as an extra hold the line unit. The warriors have started to make their clashes with the spearmen. Take a look at those helmets, very pretty. And Alethanar, I popped a decoy to just try and distract. So I'm going to put him into this unit of spearmen. They're going to basically like clog around him, and that should buy me a bit of time. The Great Eagles, I'm going to circle around and eventually look to harass these handgunners. Nice and easy, but then the cav starts to close in. So right now, I'm playing very wide, very spread out here, as kind of the skirmish play goes. The idea is I can slowly whittle him down. Tyrannok Chariot's going to move forward and then start to pull back as the Empire Knights continue to charge. And we're being a bit reserved. My Handmaiden, she was shooting into these shielded spearmen, but now she's got Boris Todbringer straight on her. I was listening to Shadow Warriors, but oh, look at that. I ignored the Knights of the White Wolf, and they're going to really punish me for that and just obliterate my Shadow Warriors. I'm going to respond by bringing the Great Eagles straight into Boris Todbringer and getting a really powerful moonbow straight into him. I'm going to turn around to Alethanar and start to shoot into the Knights of the White Wolf. The Grey have come around and are now starting to shoot over at the handgunners, and the Empire Knights here, getting caught out by the High Elf Cavalry force. as they're pushing in. I have the Phoenix Guard right over here. They are tired, but they're starting to hold out against these swordsmen. Alethanar now shooting into these shielded spearmen who are flanking the Scions of Mathlan. And Boris Todbringer being zoned out by these Great Eagles. They're really doing their job here. And if Boris can't start to be that mobility that he needs to be, he's going to suffer quite a bit. Fortunately, right over here, the Light Wizard, he is barely alive, but he does get a net of Ammontok off. And locks down all of my cavalry to be netted. That is a very good play by Alan de Generic. Boris Todbringer getting a little bit caught out there. And a few of my units not doing a whole lot. What I need to do is get my Phoenix Guard into these Empire Knights and help support. The Grey, they've been shooting a bit, but Alan has a whole lot of missile resistance. So, charging into the handgunners now and the Tyrannog chariots, doing a valiant final charge. Alethanar still shooting at Boris Todbringer, but he's about to be caught out by the Knights of the White Wolf. Oh, definitely having a few difficulties right there. And my cav has started to get caught out. This has very quickly kind of devolved into several broken up engagements, but a lot of my skirmish play is gone, so I can't really make as much of a use of it as I would have liked to. Alan has kind of accepted the fate that there's going to be a broken up battle instead of one unified force, and he's merely taken away my ability to punish it for being a broken up battle. The warriors and the spearmen in here, mixtures of exhausted and fresh and tired. Boris Todbringer coming back and starting to beat up on the Grey. Unfortunately, though, Alan's cavalry, now with the support of the Phoenix Guard, I finally got them in. They've started to rout off these Empire Knights, and that could definitely help if I can swing into the handgunners and get those off the field, and then win this handily center engagement. I'll be in a very good position on the overall fields of control. Unfortunately, all of my cavalry is exhausted. Everything is really, really tired at the moment. And I kind of, at this point in time, need to take a break with some of my units, because Phoenix Guard, as good as they are, you can see just how much, like, their stats have already started to tank. Because they've started to suffer. They do still have martial mastery up, but they are exhausted, so they really need to just rest. And I do try and get that off with the Illyrian Reavers, but it's gonna be hard. Alethanar still doing his best and shooting on into everything he can. Put it back, buddy. Yeah, still shooting on in. My handmaiden does come back, but right now battlefield control is very handily in the favor of Alan de Generic, and the balance bar is starting to swing against me. My Silverhelm chargers immediately start to get into the back of Toddy. I do not like him being where he is, but Alan has very cleverly managed to outmaneuver me in the cav fight. And killing off Boris Todbringer and all that cav is going to be a real issue, and I'm going to need the Phoenix Guard, and I keep overcommitting with them. And they're going to keep suffering for it. Over here with the infantry fight, it's a mixture of Great Eagles, Alethanar, and a whole lot of state troops. The Great Eagles are going to start to take off here. They are definitely needed elsewhere. But honestly, like, both of our armies are quite fragmented. Toddy and the Cav doesn't have the support, and all of my real killing units are exhausted and out on an island. So we're experiencing quite a few issues here. But I am shutting down Alan's handgunners finally, and I won't really have to worry about them for the rest of the game, as the Great Eagles start to munch on them. Toddy is coming around in the distance, but with the Grey shadowing him, he's going to start to experience issues. The Great Eagles are going to take off now. The Tyrannog chariot is going to start to get some pot shots around that area. This is what the battlefield currently looks like. Not looking good for the forces of Nagarythe. What Alan really needs to do here to hammer home his advantage is to start resting his troops. Because I am outnumbered, he has the liberty to hang back and rest, and I don't. So if he uses that to his advantage, it will be all but impossible for me to come back from this. Take a look at those gray. Yeah, they've dealt quite a bit of damage. They've been a fantastic part of this army. And there we go. Scions of Mathlan have rallied. They've done wonders. 144 kills. Illyrian Reavers are kind of on an island right now, but they're going to start charging back. And right now, it's a bit of a mess. Toddy is out by himself being attacked by Great Eagles and Aleithanar, but Aleithanar's in a bad spot. Everyone's exhausted and tired. If Toddy can get some more shots in, Aleithanar has gone down, but that's his decoy. I'm being tricked. And I'm the one who's been doing all these plays. But we're all kinda hanging out right now. Big old infantry engagement in the center here. Great Eagles continuing to chip away at Toddy. I'm gonna double fast forward here a little bit. As the fight continues to go on, it's gonna take a miracle at this point for Nagarythe to bring it back. They're in a very bad position, but so is Toddy. Aleithanar coming in the back with the Great Eagles. Toddy's in a very bad position. Aleithanar does pull away, and the Great Eagles keep putting on the pressure. But at this point in time, the writing is kind of on the wall, as you can see. There isn't a whole lot that I can do from here. The Great Eagles are just going to continue to try and harass Toddy, and Aleithanar is going to have his moment alone on an island by himself. The mad lad. As we all prepare for the final engagement here. But the reason I kind of want to talk about this battle is to talk about it from a very tactical point of view. Because from the outside looking in, most of my unit engagements weren't all that poor. What harmed me in the long run was my tactics. And I think that is a very important thing to highlight here. I mean, you can see a whole lot of my units did very well for themselves. But even though I killed quite a bit, there were a few issues. A, I brought a skirmishing army, as you can very clearly tell. And Alan brought a whole lot of missile-resistant state troops. State troops have a bit of missile resistance. And shields, same thing with handgunners. B, I didn't address these Reiksguard foot. These Reiksguard foot really did a number on me. 2, I did not address the Knights of the White Wolf. The Knights of the White Wolf ran havoc in my back line. 3, I didn't have as much of a plan as Alan clearly did. Alan had a lot more of a tank focus, and my general skirmish plan ambushes just didn't really fit against his army. So that's kind of why I wanted to cover this replay. Thank you.